Hey guys, this is Alexa Peterson with the Hitting Vaults. I'm going to be doing a swing analysis on Christian Yelich. He's the reigning MVP from last year, did phenomenally offensively and defensively, and is doing the exact same this year. He's hitting, as you can tell in this corner over here, he was hitting 342 before this pitch, and ended up taking this one to right center field. So let's take a look at his swing. Starting stance, right about here, a little bit of bend in his knees. Front foot is a little bit farther open than his back foot, but he's not too far open. Front shoulder is lower than his back shoulder. His hands are a little bit further away from his body. You can see his barrel right there. We go into the load. You'll notice he's a hitter that he starts pretty tall. We'll draw a circle around his head right here, and he actually sinks down into his legs a lot more. You see that head movement going down. And that's okay. It's not something that we maybe want to have, really young kids doing, because this takes a little bit more, I guess, like stability to be able to control this movement. Some kids will get carried away and will sink way too far, or they won't be consistent. He is very consistent with the same movement with his head every time. So he sinks down, and notice this is a movement sinking down that's before the ball is released. So that's why, this is a totally fine movement for him, and it works for him. He gets into his legs. He has his front shoulder start working down and in more. Notice his hands start working further kind of back behind him. Everything's kind of rotating down and in like that, and that he has that good internal hip rotation with that front hip. He starts to go forward. Now you see him opening up his hips a little bit more, kind of pinching with that back elbow. You see that movement right there. Whoops. Right there with his back elbow. Check out that back elbow. Pinching back as he goes forward. That helps him create a lot of separation. So as he goes forward, his hands are staying back instead of going with him. Gets to his launch position. Right there, front shoulder down and in. Knob is kind of down towards the catcher. You can still see a little bit of his jersey. He's closed. He's not having his shoulder flying open completely. He's in a great launch position right there. From there, he rotates his hips really hard. Belt buckle going towards the pitcher. Great contact point right there on this breaking ball. Good extension, releases his backside. And you'll notice right here too, his back foot actually comes over right there. You'll see that with some hitters, and that's totally fine. It's just them basically, when your hips rotate that hard, there's going to be times where you just kind of catch your balance after your swing, and that's totally fine if that's what that back foot movement is doing, as long as you are maintaining that good head position towards contact. You're not falling towards home plate in the middle of the swing. Go a little further here. There's a close-up view right here, so we get a good view here of his body starting to uncoil. Check out those hips. You can see right here his jersey's wrinkled a little bit because he's got that good separation. Hands are back and his hips are starting to turn. And what you'll notice is he's basically just uncoiling his body. He's not pushing his hands forward. And the reason why you can tell he's not pushing through this movement is because these elbows actually stay the same angle. So hitters that you see pushing their knob down, straight down towards the ball, you're going to see the angles in their elbows change a lot through this whole movement. But he's using his core and his lower half to turn the barrel, turn his body as he goes towards contact, and then he releases the barrel. Obviously close to contact, and a little bit, after, obviously there's going to be some change in that elbow and those elbow angles as he extends through. But it's important to not be pushing and changing those elbow angles as you go towards the ball. So solid contact position. We see his front shoulder is higher than his back shoulder. He's got a great angle here, torso tilt right here. We can't be vertical with that front shoulder just rotating out immediately. You have to stay on the plane of the pitch. So if you were hitting a pitch that was really low, like say way down here, you would see him right after launch position, you would see him actually create more tilt to help him get down there. This pitch is kind of middle, like right in the middle, so you're going to see this good kind of average amount of tilt. If it was a little bit higher in the zone, you might see it a little bit more upright. But still, no matter the height of the pitch, unless it's over his head really, you're going to see that front shoulder higher than the back shoulder right there, close to contact. Good extension all the way through. Again, belt buckle was turning towards the pitcher. We could see it. There's his belt buckle at the pitcher. We can see the front right there, and he's not even at contact yet. That's a great indicator as whether you're turning your hips as hard as you can versus pushing with your hands or having slow hip rotation. We have a cool angle back here from behind. We really can see that movement as he goes forward, he's resisting the tendency that hitters have to have those hands drag and start moving really far forward. So that helps him get some good separation. There's his launch position. You see him dropping that back shoulder. That shoulder can't drop very far before contact point. We want to have that front shoulder down and in, and that back shoulder a little bit higher, right that second that heel hits right there in that launch position. And then from there, that's when that back shoulder drops. Barrel starts working behind him, front elbow works up, back elbow works down like a seesaw. Notice his back foot here, you can see it becomes weightless, moves forward maybe half an inch. There's hitters that their back foot moves forward some, a good amount, 3, 4, 5 inches, and some hitters that just come straight up, straight down. He goes forward just a little bit, maybe an inch or so. And what's important is that as you get to contact point, that you don't have a ton of weight on your back foot there. A lot of hitters will just spin and rotate, and that heel won't. That heel will actually just go right back towards the catcher, and you'll basically be squishing the bug. We actually want that back foot to become weightless as we get closer to contact, if not right at contact, and it's turning, rotating into a firmer front side that's firming up. So yeah, that's his 16th home run that he hit this season. He's doing phenomenal. I'm excited to see how he does the rest of the season.